Reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie. And, it might take a little bit longer for some people.
When reporters questioned Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird about Caitlin Clark's omission from the Olympic roster, both veterans gave the kind of calm, rehearsed answers you'd expect from legends. But underneath their words, you could clearly sense a hint of irritation, almost as if Clark's rise had disrupted a system they believed belonged entirely to them.
You're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Yeah, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charter.
And honestly, reality hit hard when fans watched Diana spending most of her time warming the bench in Paris. For someone who spoke about reality checks, that visual alone said more than any quote ever could.
Ask me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broke?
She didn't play a single second in the gold medal game. Even earlier in the tournament, she had multiple matches where she couldn't score more than a few points. So if this is what grown women's basketball is supposed to look like according to Diana, then I think a lot of people would disagree. Her comments sounded less like experience speaking and more like bitterness aimed at the rookie.
I'm gonna say this, and then I wanna be done with this whole conversation. So for people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, first of all, black people can't be racist. What? First of all, black people can't be racist.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But that's the farthest thing from my mind.
Ever since Caitlin Clark started becoming the face of women's basketball, a handful of older players have reacted with thinly disguised jealousy. They make petty comments, then hide behind phrases like, "she needs a reality check," or "new fans don't understand the game." One person even said, "Black people can't be racist," as if that somehow validated the disrespect. The hypocrisy practically exposes itself.
And you said that Caitlin is going to go through a learning curve. Some people were critical of you for saying that, but I don't know that it necessarily meant that you're not welcoming to her, right? I mean, how do you... it seems like you were just saying the reality is she's going to have a learning curve.
It's the new fans. They're really sensitive these days. You can't say anything. It's kind of like when you go from kindergarten to first grade, there's a learning adjustment. When you go from high school to college, there's a learning adjustment. I don't think I said anything that wasn't factually correct. And like anything, greatness is going to translate. And she's proven that in every level. And I don't see it being any different.
And when fans called Diana out, rightfully, for being petty and insecure about Caitlin's rise, a simple apology would have gone a long way. But instead of taking accountability, she doubled down and added even more fuel to the fire.
She had the potential. Playing amongst other stars, with her marksmanship, she could have made big things happen. With her passing ability, she could have made things happen. Then she would have drawn excitement and eyeballs, and people the world over would have been watching her, which would have assisted in the elevation of the WNBA brand, which would have benefited everybody.
Here's the reality. Tommy's right. It's not just race, though. It's also sexuality. Caitlin Clark is a white heterosexual woman in a black lesbian league, and they resent and are jealous of all of the attention and the shoe deal that she got.
You messed it up. You messed it up. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese should have been on that team. Especially Caitlin Clark. She's box office.
The truth is simple. Her prime is long over. At 42, she should have stepped aside to let younger stars gain Olympic experience. And sure, if she was still dominating games, this conversation wouldn't exist. But she isn't. Selecting her over an emerging superstar makes the decision look more political than competitive.
The fan fever was high and in full supply at Welsh Ryan Arena.
This is like the best thing ever.
There's a reason there's almost 10,000 people here.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Like, brought a lot of awareness for like women's sports, especially women's basketball.
People say new fans are overly sensitive, but that's not the real issue. The real problem is that there were never many old fans to begin with. Women's basketball only exploded because of Caitlin Clark. Without her, ratings were flat for years. The Caitlin effect isn't fanfiction. It's a
I never thought I would be on this team for so long. It's just such an honor to put that jersey on. 6 gold medals. More importantly, I think would say what USA basketball means, the consistency, the sacrifice that we all make to be on this team, all the coaches. It's truly an honor to be on this team. When I went to my first one in 2004, and I was lucky enough to be on that team, I was like, okay, that's cool. 1 is good. And then 08 came, and I was like, 2, I'm happy. And 3, it's an honor. 4, that's enough. 5 was cool. And 6, I mean, I don't know.
I heard you just have to beat Sue.
That's my only goal in life is to beat Sue. So that would make it 6. She has me on WNBA championships, so we're even.
We're talking about a 250% spike in ticket sales, jersey sales shooting up by more than 1,000%, nearly 1 billion social media views between April and July, and a massive jump in website and app traffic. Honestly, the Olympics women's team didn't get real global attention until people started asking why Caitlin Clark wasn't invited.
Now, I didn't quite understand how you benched Diana Taurasi, how you can't find any time for one of the greatest players ever, who can shoot, by the way. You needed some long-range snipers, and Team USA had problems with it. They just lucky their defense is so damn elite.
Some critics love to claim that these new fans won't stick around. But when you see thousands of kids laughing, cheering, and getting inspired, you understand that something bigger is happening. This isn't temporary hype, it's generational impact.
Attendance is down. Viewership is down. Guess what? Nobody gives a rat's ass. Not even a dead rat's ass about WNBA players playing in the Olympics. Well, Stephen A. Smith chimed in on it, and he chimed in, I think, very adroitly.
See, we want to act like marketing and business don't play a role in all this. That's why
Iowa's women's games were sold out everywhere. Caitlin isn't just playing, she's transforming the entire sport. She's inspiring a wave of young girls to dream bigger. And if we're being real, age does matter in elite sports. Experience is valuable, but youth brings speed, energy, endurance, and fewer injuries. At some point, every legend's career reaches a natural end. Diana is at that stage, yet she refuses to step back. Is it love for the game or simply ego?
USA 22 jerseys would sell across this great nation of ours. Holy cow. It's amazing, really, how dumb the WNBA was. But when you think about it from a realistic standpoint, as my wife said, women just don't want women to succeed in sports. They just don't. They can't.
And sure, she achieved her personal goal, her 6th gold medal. But she didn't earn it through dominance. She earned it because her teammates carry her. That medal came at the cost of Caitlin Clark's Olympic opportunity, and fans haven't forgotten it.
So much controversy. Caitlin should be on this team. Caitlin Clark shouldn't be on this team. You've been a part of it, and then people talked about it's the team, and you mentioned you don't have time to play together. Yeah. Did Team USA miss the boat in not putting Caitlin Clark on this team?
You know, it's really tough. I think every Olympic cycle, there's a story of a snub, and it is because the talent is so great. Yeah. I could sit here and make an argument for her being on the team, but that would require me to take somebody off. And when I look at this roster, I don't see myself doing that. If Caitlin had made the team and somebody else had gotten snubbed,
right,
and I could have made that argument, I would have looked at the roster and I wouldn't have been able to take anybody off. So that's the challenge of picking the U.S. women's basketball team. That's why we win gold, and that's why I'm hoping to see another one.
Her benching makes more sense when you look at her earlier performances. Against Belgium, 0 points, literally a 0-0 game. Against Nigeria, just 3 points. For assists were her only highlight, but that's hardly enough for someone taking up a roster spot meant for the country's best. In the end, The coach made the only logical decision: sit her down.
Marketing matters in everything. Promotion matters in everything. And you're not going to get around that. That is what I said.
Everyone knew Team USA would win gold, but the lack of excitement was embarrassing. Only 18 reporters attended the final medal ceremony. If Caitlin Clark had been part of the team, the building would have been packed, the media would have swarmed, and the WNBA would have gotten priceless exposure. Instead, nobody even bothered watching the highlights.
I'm sure Caitlin Clark's about to make a lot of money.
She's earning her money right now.
No, Caitlin's balling right now. I mean, I don't have a box score, but at one point, is this where we talk about her being our child?
Oh.
I'm going to let you deal with it. You're the mom.
This is our firstborn, Caitlin Clark. As you can see, she has the passing ability of Shoshana Bird. She has the pull-up. She has long distance range, like middle linebacker Taurasi. And she has the swaggy competitiveness of both of us. This is our love child born in the internet era.
They need to do that like face mesh thing. And they put the faces over.
I mean, she must be really good. She's two of us.
Yeah.
Boy, who was a sucked?
Now let's switch over to Sue Bird, a 5-time Olympic gold medalist, and hear her take on Caitlin Clark's exclusion.
Many of people who are cheering against Team USA today because they wanted Caitlin Clark on that team and they wanted a reason to point to that Caitlin Clark should have been on that team.
Sue claimed the decision wasn't personal, just a result of too much talent on the roster. But if the plan was to bring someone who wouldn't see the court anyway, why not choose Caitlin? Even sitting on the bench, she would have brought more energy, more marketing, more fans, and honestly, more potential than Diana offered. Talent alone isn't the full equation in modern sports.
The U.S. has gold. Is the U.S. vindicated in keeping her off of that team?
Yeah. There's vindication that happens by winning, obviously. The ultimate goal in the Olympics is to win gold. They won gold. So I think they're okay.
Now that Diana is old enough to be Caitlin's mother, fans are roasting the entire situation online. And yes, both Diana and Sue once jokingly referred to Caitlin as their firstborn. The irony writes itself.
Sometimes you don't think the end's ever close, but when it is, it really makes you feel grateful.
How do you get in there, brother?
Lucky. I said I was with my idols when I was young. I was with my counterparts in the middle.
And let's be honest, this would still sting even if Diana had performed well. The committee already embarrassed themselves when they sent Team USA to face the WNBA All-Stars and got destroyed. Their attempt to prove their roster was the best of the best completely backfired. It exposed bias, favoritism, and terrible judgment.
Clark is a special player. She reminds me of a Steph Curry. A lot of times she takes those ill-advised shots that me and Chuck don't like, but they go in. Not only do they go in consistently. And the way she plays the game, she's the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around her better. Not only was she making a great shot, she was making great passes.
Now some analysts are claiming that since Team USA won gold, the decision to leave Caitlin off the roster was justified. That logic falls apart under even the slightest pressure. But before addressing that, let's hear the rest of what they said.
It was definitely what happened last year between Caitlin Clark and Andrew Reese. It was talked about and would have liked to see that rematch in punch.
Winning the gold was never in question. Everyone predicted it from day one. No one argued that Team USA needed Caitlin to win. The issue is how close they came to losing. A 1-point victory? That's not dominance, that's survival. Fans called Diana dead weight, and honestly, that criticism wasn't far off.
Is just a rookie in the WNBA, wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now. If we had to do it all over again, the way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team because she is playing head and shoulders above a lot of people, shooting the ball extremely well. I mean, she is an elite passer. She's just got a great basketball IQ, and she's a little more seasoned in the pro game.
In a couple of months.
Yeah, in a couple of months than she was 2 months.
Some fans argued that even if she wasn't selected based purely on merit, Caitlin should have been included as an apprentice to prepare her for the 2028 games. Even NBA legends publicly stated that if the Olympics wanted packed arenas, showcasing Caitlin Clark was the obvious move.
In college basketball as the all-time leading scorer wasn't taken into consideration. Reminder, it's not a WNBA All-Star team or a Fading Legends team. It's a national team.
Even Shaq openly said he watched more women's basketball this year than men's, and Caitlin Clark was the reason why. When a rookie generates more attention than an entire national team, it becomes impossible to ignore what she brings to the sport.
Oh, Caitlin Clark, Dawn Stilly, the great Dawn Stilly, who I revere, by the way. But she was playing the way then, the way she's playing now. Well, wait a minute. You know she had the potential. You know, playing amongst other stars, with her marksmanship, she could have made big things happen. With her passing ability, she could have made things happen. Then she would have drawn excitement and eyeballs, and people the world over would have been watching her, which would have assisted in the elevation of the WNBA brand, which would have benefited